Welcome. I'd like to just go through our timetable structure. I think it'll help you understand how we piece things together. So this structure was developed by Anna Vlas, Damien, Jim and Ross Brisbane many years ago. It's quite a clever structure. It's unique. I've not seen anything like it in my travels. It's satisfying a lot of requirements from sport through to pre-apprenticeship through to vet. The structure is based on 7 blocks. Each block is represented by a letter, A to G. So a block is a configuration of subjects that run at the same time. I'll show you another video of how we get that configuration of subjects together. I'll do that the next lecture. Now we start with a plan. We've got 7 blocks and we've spread those over the week, and we've tried to give a nice morning and afternoon spread as well. Most schools run 6 blocks, and most government schools run 6 blocks. So the consequence to us is that each of our 7 blocks has to run slightly less time compared to the average high school. Although private schools often will have a 7th block, and that block will cater for kids doing religion as their extra subject. Now we're catering for the kids that go off to Box Hill TAFE. For example, the makeup kids and hair and beauty travel off Wednesday afternoon, so I've got to make sure that they don't have any of their VCE subjects in blocks A and G. So that's fairly difficult to do. It's quite a constraint. It means I've got to fit all their VCE subjects in 5 blocks out of 7. Now I'm trying to find a better way to do that. So if you can see the picture and come up with a better way, what I'd like to do is switch that, our nice little PD session, which is quite a unique feature of the timetable, and switch that to there, but that's going to create problems with sport. If I could do that, I could solve a lot of student clashes. Anyway, if you've got any bright ideas, let me know. You can see some of the other structures that run across the blocks. They're the difficult things like the pre-apprenticeship auto, plumbing and horticulture, and so on. Now I use a little bit of a different approach for the pre-apprenticeship stuff. I use a way to plan that. So the 7 blocks are across the top. You can't see them all, but this gives you an idea. Because the pre-apprenticeship subjects don't fit nicely into any block, I've got to come up with some way to fit them in. So I break each block. So block A, for example, has their hour-and-a-half session, their hour session, and then another hour session. And I have to fit, for example, the vet electrical across those blocks. The key thing about that is that I've got to keep 2 blocks free for the kids to do their English and maths. So I've got to squash all of their pre-apprenticeship subjects into actually 4 blocks, because a lot of the kids do sport, which is their 5th, and then I've got to leave room for maths and English. The consequence of that is that those kids doing pre-apprenticeships tend to be in the same English and maths class, because that's the only time they're free. In addition, the way that we fit part-timers in is for a 0.8 person who has to teach in 4 blocks. What I try and do is not put them in blocks A, B and C, and that ensures that they get Friday off. These letters down the bottom here indicate various ways I can fit part-timers in. So to give people Friday off is relatively easy if they're English and maths, because there's multiple classes, and the multiple classes gives me lots of flexibility. If the teacher is in a single class area like the arts, design, music, technology, then it's much more difficult to do. The other sorts of part-timers that are common, or becoming more common, are the 0.6s, and the way that I deal with them is I put them in blocks E and F. That gives them 2 subjects, so they get Wednesday, Friday off. And then for their 3rd subject, I usually put them in block G, which means they can't take that Wednesday session. And I put that usually on Tuesday morning during our PD sessions. So the other feature of our timetable is that we finish at 2:30 on a Friday, so there aren't too many schools that can boast that, so that's another nice feature of the timetable. In the next lecture I'll go through how I fit the kids into these blocks. Thank you.